Hey guys, Hijinks here, and I'm back with a video here. We're going to be doing a review of Fallout 76, and I don't know when this is going to be released or how soon. I've recorded this so many times because I have quite a lot of views about the game, but I haven't found the proper way to express them. And then there was one time where I nailed it perfectly, and there was some background noise. As you guys know, I have pets, and then I have my laptop is up, and so I had gotten a few alerts. So hopefully this time that doesn't happen. If it does, guys, honestly, I think we're gonna roll with it and just try to fix the audio as we go. But I know exactly what I want to say here. I am not using notes because that had a lot of it sounded weird the way the paper rendered, like the movement of the paper when I was looking at the notes. And also I feel like it makes me sound disingenuous, like I don't actually mean what I'm saying because I'm just reading it straight from the paper. But as you guys know, I played Fallout 76 beta on the channel, and we played it a lot. And we played it for a decent amount. I wouldn't say we played it for a lot of the beta because the beta happened on the day that I was working, so I wasn't able to exclusively play this beta for hours and hours and hours, but I got it for 2 hours a piece. And with that in mind, we did get a decent amount of the experience, however, and I know there's a lot of reviewers on this topic. A lot of people reviewed this topic, and there's a lot of mixed feedback out there. Now, I know people who don't like Fallout 76, and we're going to address some of the complaints that I've heard. But the people who don't like the beta, who didn't like the beta and aren't looking forward to the game, or not looking forward to the game as much, they have some pretty valid points, and then there's people who do like the game and they have some valid points as well. We're going to address both points, and then I'm going to address my personal view and how I feel the game is. And what I want to first address is that the beta is, for all intents and purposes, the complete game. This was not your average beta. This beta went a little bit beyond, and it was actually the full game released was actually in the beta. However, I will say that Bethesda did release a statement prior to the beta saying that this beta was going to be really broken and they were really just going for something that was torn apart. However, the whole game was able to be accessed through beta, so theoretically, if you were to play this and you were a quick player, you could have gotten possibly through the entire story. Maybe not, but it was all in there, so you could have, in theory, with the with the right time management, maybe you could. And so that being in mind, that is where a lot of people who are not excited for the Fallout 76 beta, that's where a lot of them are standing, is that this is what the game is. This is the full game. There's not really many additions, if any additions, going to be made to the thing, besides some small things here and maybe some adjustments there. And that's where a lot of the concern and worries are. With there being some people who had played on PC. Now I didn't play it on PC. I played it on PlayStation, and I'll actually address this subject as well. But I'm going to address it first through a lot of PC players having an issue running the game, and people that were having the issue have very, very up to date tech and really good tech, and their computers are made to handle things like this, and it didn't work out well. The game just wasn't working out. There was even an issue with a lot of PC people who were downloading it where the game would delete itself from the launcher. It was a little bit rough on PC players, so that was a concern, an opening concern or a complaint about the beta specifically. I don't think that's going to translate to the game. On my end, I did notice that things were a little bit glitchier. Now, it wasn't anything too crazy outside the realm of a Fallout game. Server crashing, you getting kicked out of the server, freezing, things like that. That was, that stuff happens. That's just the nature of a Fallout game, which isn't me making an excuse. It's just me explaining that that's what happens in Fallout games. When you play a Fallout game, you definitely want to be prepared for that. And that's why in solo Fallout games, you save after every step, because any step could be your last step, and not because you were killed by an NPC, but because that the game possibly froze or you got into a glitch of sorts. And that was definitely a complaint, and how it was not working well on PC, and for some people on console it wasn't working well for them. So a lot of reviewers had that issue, and for that I don't really have much to address on that besides that Hopefully that just stays in beta. I hope that stays in beta and that doesn't follow itself onto the full game. I did not have that many issues. I had about the average issue that you would expect from a game like Fallout. And again, this is Bethesda recognizes this. This isn't me talking poorly on the company. I'm a really big Bethesda fan. I love Bethesda. I play a lot of games from that developer, and I feel like anything Bethesda makes, I want to play. Fallout 76 being announced, anything like that, instantly wanted to get that. So I'm a really big Bethesda person. I love Bethesda. I think they're amazing. So with that in mind, that's what you expect. The other issue that was complained about was non-NPCs, non-human NPCs, and non-friendly NPCs. So you get the only NPC you really get is a merchant robot of sorts, and other than that, all NPCs are basically enemies. You don't really get any NPC, like you're not gonna get like Fox as a companion. You're not gonna get Dogmeat. You're not gonna get any NPC companions. You're not going to have Moira to buy things off of or sell things to. That's all from the merchant bot and from other players. So that was a good complaint. And a lot of people say that subtracts from the Fallout feel because Fallout gets you immersed in through theatrics. And I do agree to an extent. I agree that Fallout can get you really immersed. Like Fallout games get you really immersed through all the interactions you're going to have with people. And clearly playing with real people, that might change a little bit. But I don't think that having non-human or non-friendly NPCs is a deal breaker in my opinion. And this is something that I heard someone who liked the game actually agree with me on this particular point, was that Fallout is about survival, and this game really does push you to survive and push you to interact to survive. So you need food, water to get by, and healing. And sometimes you can't farm. You have to farm a lot of this stuff. You have to go and find it. And so this will force you to talk to actual players who can give it to you for better prices than the bot for reasonable trades. So I think, and this game is trying to be, you can, and through that you could probably build a team base, and that might get rid of the non-NPC teammates that you're not gonna be able to get at this point. And maybe Bethesda will reconsider this later on. Even though I know this was like they said this is the full game, maybe they'll reconsider it and throw it in there. I don't think this is a deal breaker. I actually kind of like it because it built a different environment. I made a friend on Fallout 76 who's amazing. I really appreciate the guy, and he's really awesome. And we played together on there. And so yeah, I mean, it definitely was a nice touch. I liked it. I think that it's going to be just fine. I think it's going to take some time to adjust. What I do have to agree with, though, is that only using holotapes to convey the story is where is kind of not cutting it for me personally. I don't really feel as immersed in the story only listening to holotapes. It feels to me almost like something's being told me through a campfire, and I would like to see a little bit more of that. So maybe in that case, that would be good to use an NPC for, or cause a cutscene, something like that. But other than that, I would say that the non-human NPCs, I feel like that was good, and I feel like after a little bit of time adjusting, I think it'll be great. I think that when people start to find their footing and find out how to interact better, I feel like the game is really going to be fun, in that right. And now to go into the good things here, guys, and I gotta say, there's just a few like really good things I really want to touch on before I get into my views here. The video is getting a little bit long, so I'm gonna try to speed through as fast as possible for you guys to give you guys a nice, concise video. The visuals were great. A lot of people really liked them. I really liked them. There was no part of the map that was boring to look at. Everywhere I went, I was just stunned by how great it looked. And I feel like that they did a really amazing job with the visuals. The map is huge, so I didn't get to see most of it. Saw a decent amount. I'm really excited to really explore and find out more on the map. Another thing was that a lot of fears that I had before. I was wondering, with the map being so big, is it going to be another situation where it's going to be like empty in a lot of spots? That is not the case. Everywhere I went, I ran into some form of event, activity, quest, or I ran into a bunch of NPCs and I was able to get loot off of them. So there was always something to do, and there was always something somewhere. Very rarely were there times where I was just walking and having nothing happen. And it was definitely really exciting the whole way through. Now, with that out of the way, I will talk about my views on the game. With that being, I had some major concerns when it came in. I was a little bit concerned about the PvP, although I wasn't personally afflicted by it, but I was definitely worried about how it was gonna go. But now I see that there are improvements and things, and I could see how it not being an issue anymore. Another issue I had, or not issue, but another concern I had was that only one person could access the merchant bot at a time. Now they fixed that as well. Last time I played, me and someone else were able to access the merchant at the same time, so that's no longer an issue. But I was definitely worried about that first because there could be a variety of incidents that could cause, and so I was like, all right, but they fixed that, and that was good too. As for the lack of NPCs, my personal opinion on that is that I would have liked to have had something for narrative reasons, but it's not the end of the world. I wish they would have done something more than just holotapes to explain the story of the game. But maybe I'll get more into it as the game goes on, but it's just not personally my favorite way. I'd rather see some of this stuff than just be told it. It just kind of feels like a ghost story around a campfire, and it's just not like believable or immersive when it comes to the actual narrative itself. As for the actual like social aspects of it and all that, I really am a big fan. I like being able to build a team. You can build up your own camps, and you guys can kind of utilize each other as a team to get like gear and things like that, and the junk to build things. I really liked it. I felt like it did a great job with that. And honestly, I gotta say that it definitely trumps having to handle NPCs, because even though charisma is no longer like that big thing to help get those prices down, but you could talk to the person now. So even if you had low charisma and not good like stats to barter, you could probably talk to someone and figure something out to get it for pretty cheap what you need, opposed to having to level up. But I like that. I like that fact that you guys are gonna be relying off each other and using each other to move forward and really benefiting each other. And it really makes the game experience just something unique. And at least that's how my experience was personally. And the creatures were awesome as well. All the enemies were awesome. We ran into something new. I forget what it was called, and it was crazy. But it was a good experience. And I have to say that would I suggest buying the game? If you're really into survival, if you like having to gather things, and if you are into really like talking to other people in the server and trying to trade things and all that, then yeah, if you are into that kind of thing, I would definitely recommend it. However, if you are not really into playing with people, if you're going to try to lone wolf it, if you're more into solo player games or single player Fallout games, this might not be the game for you particularly, but you might find some enjoyment. I mean, you could always try and just stick to areas that people, where people wouldn't be. It's a really big map. It's not like you couldn't go off on your own, but it definitely wouldn't be the same as playing the game single player, and it won't be, the same because you won't have any NPCs to interact with. So if you are definitely more feeling that old school Fallout NPC and relationship build vibe, then I would definitely say that this might not be the one for you. I know they said the whole game is going to be released at this point, but you never know what's going to happen with DLCs and expansions later on. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down below if you guys want to see more. Let me know if you want to see some Fallout lore down below. If you want me to talk about anything that's going on with Fallout, let me know that as well. Or any other game, really. I can go through and we can analyze the lore of this game and other games. That was something I was thinking about doing. But I figured, why not let you guys let me know in the comments down below. But I do appreciate you guys checking out the video, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you guys all later. Peace.